sitting on the rooftop together. Some physics lesson he don't know on what note page she was. All his focus was on her. Not on the lesson, of course. He's not that interested in his studies, but the one who is teaching him. I admire her dedication to helping him understand her genuine care for his progress. She always been this way, kind, considerate. And he was confused by his feelings for her. He didn't understand why he was so attracted to her, despite the fact that she was not the most traditionally beautiful girl in the class. He felt drawn to her warm, caring personality, but he couldn't bring himself to admit it aloud. He kept thinking about the night they had spent together, how their tongue dances in a heat of passion on her, and how her skin felt against his. But all of these thoughts just left him feeling more confused. What was he feeling, and should he tell her? The emotion he experienced around her were difficult to define. Love seems too grand word of a word for it. He couldn't claim to love her, but perhaps he liked her or he was merely attracted to her. Maybe he was just drawn to her. If it was that case, then maybe there's no need to overanalyze it or have a serious conversation. He still vividly remembered the moment when they made love, unsure if it was an attraction, the warmth of someone genuinely caring for him, or something else entirely. Maybe he should just continue living in the moment and not think about too much, or maybe it will be clear with the time. Jungkook snapped out of his thoughts, his rave at the sound of her voice, and realized she was speaking to him. Huh? Tell me what I did just say. Jungkook blinked and cleared his throat. Newton ate the apple that fell from the tree. I didn't even mention you. You know what? I'm so done. She said, standing up from her place, and Jungkook panicked. Yeah, where are you going? I was just kidding. Don't just think whatever you're thinking and don't even make an excuse this time. She started to walk down the stairs. Jungkook ran behind her. That was a joke. I was just. Hey, are you okay? He instinctively grabbed her arm as she was about to lose her balance. Leaned to him for support and her vision blurred. Experienced these things for a while as she was distancing them, thinking it was just stress or something, passing illness. She is throwing up in the morning, feeling constantly fatigued, and now this. Are you okay? You don't look so good. You really don't look okay. Do you want me to take you to nurse? No, it's nothing, I guess, don't worry. She said, not wanting to make him worried about it, but he was so stubborn for the rest of the day he tagged along with her, being sure she was okay. Son, I have heard you have an upcoming football match and you have to leave for Busan. Yoongi looked up from his mobile and nodded his head. Yeah, they planned everything so quickly. So when are you leaving? This Friday, Dad. I'll be back in 2 weeks. He said without even looking up at his father, busy using his mobile. At least leave this disease when you have breakfast. Yuna started her father scolding and Yoongi glared at his sister. Your father is right. Leave this thing for a while. Yoongi rolled his eyes and then sighed, placing the mobile down. I was just checking some important messages. He's lying. He was using Instagram. Yoongi kicked her chair and laughed out loud. I forgot to tell you, my sister is having a baby gender reveal party next month. They're inviting us, and I think it will be great family get together. We should definitely go. Oh really? Finally, I'm so excited. What's the day? Saturday, I guess. Oh okay, let me mark it up. She said, grabbing her mobile to mark up the date on her calendar, so she won't forget. She marked the date and then she missed her period. She stared at the date. It was impossible, right? She never missed her period before, and 7 weeks was a long time. Panic began to wash over her and she tried to calm herself down. It was maybe just a little irregularity, that it happened to every woman once in a while. It couldn't be what she feared, right? She had been stressed lately and maybe that had caused a delay. She couldn't help but feel a nagging worry deep in her gut thought. 7 weeks without a period, unusual fatigue and constant nausea, all signs that began to paint a one picture she didn't want to acknowledge. Maybe she just need to eat better, she thought. She tried to dismiss her growing concern. I'll take care of my diet and everything will be alright. She closed the app, telling herself that she was just overreacting, that there was nothing to worry about. With ease, But the unease lingered in her thoughts as she joined the conversation with her family, pretending everything was perfectly fine. Instead, in the store, her heart was pounding loudly in her chest. She bit her lips harshly, trying to control the flood of emotion she was experiencing. A few days earlier, she had tried to convince herself that the missed periods just was a result of poor diet and stress. But when she searched up the symptoms and realized the possibilities, she was frozen in her space for what like an eternity. Now she found herself in front of a row of pregnancy test kits. 1,000 emotions stirred within her, but one thought kept repeating in her mind: this had to be false alarm. She couldn't be pregnant, right? She needed to confirm this and move past the fear that had been gripping her. Yun reached out and grabbed the two kits tightly. She was not entirely sure which one was better, as there was a difference in quality in her dress as she walked towards the counter, clutching it tightly. She was about to pay and leave as quickly as possible when her heart nearly stopped as she spotted Jungkook at the counter, buying something she couldn't quite make out. Panic surged through her and she turned to leave. No, she can't let him know. But just as she was about to make her escape, Jungkook's voice called out. Even her feet froze, and she turned to find him standing right in front of her. Hey, what are you doing here? I just needed to pick up some real things quick. Yeah, me too. So what are you wearing? She smiled awkwardly, trying to sound natural, but her mind is still racing. Just some personal stuff. Jungkook smiled. Well, I'll pay for your things. Yoon panicked. No, really, that's unnecessary. Jungkook followed her brows. Why are you acting like we don't know each other? You forget I bought for your food last time too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't need to pay anything for me. Come on, Yune. He insisted, and Yun gave up, placing the items on the counter, and he quickly paid for her items. But his expression changed as he noticed the test kits among her purchases. His eyebrow furrowed as he glanced at Yun with a questioning gaze. My friend asked me to pick up these for her. She was not feeling well, so she stammered quickly, and the cashier gave both of them a weird look. Jungkook gave her plastic bag and clutched it tightly. Kids these days, they both awkwardly left the store quickly without saying anything. That was awkward. Sorry, my friend was a bit nervous, so I just decided to help her. Hey, no worries. And wow, if these we both can spend time together. Yeah, they continued their walk, the uneasiness slowly fading as they chatted about random things. Let's get it over with, she whispered to herself as she waited anxiously for the result. Wave of fear and anxiety wash over her. The bathroom felt like the smallest and most suffocating place in the world. A deep breath, stared at the timer or her phone, counting down the agonizing seconds. No one had idea about the test she had taken, and the thought of Jungkook finding out was daunting. What would he say if the test became positive? She tried to focus on her breathing and calm her racing thoughts. Tick tock, tick tock. Each second felt like an eternity, and she couldn't shake the unease grinding at her. Her mind raced through all the possibilities outcome, from relief to overwhelming concern. What if the test was negative, or worse, what if it's positive? Finally, the timer wind up, signaling the end of her wait. Yun hesitated for a moment, then mustered the courage to look at the result. Yun hesitantly picked up the pregnancy test, her hands trembling. She stared at it for a moment, and her heart almost sank as she saw those two distinct lines on the test window, confirming her fear. It was positive. No. Tears welled up in her eyes as a well-known emotion engulfed her. She sat down on the edge of the bathtub to study herself. Her mind races filled with thoughts of consequences of her action and how she was ended up here. Why me? Why me? What will happen now? This can't be real. Locked in the bathroom, she can't hold back the tears any longer. She began to sob, feeling the weight of her situation pressing down on her. How is she going to face her family? What about her future? Is it the end? How is she going to tell Jungkook? Will he accept it? They're not even in a relationship. He was just a friend. They never talk about a thing. And now she is regretting it. But if he doesn't want any connection with her? Her parents had never approved her dating at this age, and now that she was pregnant, what would they do? The fear of their disappointment was suffocating. Her life is going to be ruined. Her dreams felt like they were slipping away. She tried to take a steady breath to calm herself down, but the panic just kept going. She put her head in her hands and sobbed harder. I don't want this. I don't want a baby. I don't want to have a baby. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. No, I can't be pregnant. This can't be happening. I don't want to have this baby. She's only 17. And in school, how she's going to handle all this? She curls up in a ball on the bathroom floor and cried. She don't know with whom she should talk about. Definitely not her family. And Jungkook, no. Jimin, will he help her? Will he give her some advice? But it is only 2 a.m. in the morning. He must be sleeping. She really needs someone beside her, yet she stayed inside the bathroom not knowing what she would do with her life. Jungkook was roaming around the school searching for Yoon, but she was nowhere to be seen. It's been a week she's avoiding him, or maybe he's just overthinking. The fact that they are not spending time together is not really the one clinging with anyone, but he's too used to her presence. But now he's feeling lonely without her. He tried to approach her multiple times, but she always gave him the same excuse. I have some work to do. They're not talking with each other like they used to. She is not responding to his messages. Was it because of their last conversation? He shouldn't have said that. What if she didn't want to spend time with him? What if she didn't want to spend time with him? What if she finds someone else? No, he's just overthinking. He shouldn't have that straightforward with her. What if now she don't want anything with him? He know he messed up. He should think before he says something. And now he can't stop thinking about her face. He heard her, he know. He cursed himself, massaging his hair, still searching for her, but he didn't find her anywhere. Yoon placed her hand on Jungkook's chest, stopping him in his place as he lay down. He froze in his place as he looked at her. Yoon looked down, her fist clenching behind her back. Jungkook, be sure to stop this. Did I do something wrong? She took a deep breath and he could see the unease in her eyes. It's just I have been thinking about us. Yoon struggled to find the right words, her voice trembling. I just need to know what we are. We never talked about it, and her eyes never met his. A fear was in her heart. She couldn't sleep all night after finding out her life would change, yet part of her head wanted to ask him about their relationship. But the fear of his response held her back. Jungkook stared at her with a sudden question. Yeah, he is aware they never talked about it, but right now he was not even prepared. What is he going to say? They were not just friends, and he felt a connection with her. That went beyond mere physical interaction. But he also knew that he was not ready for a committed relationship. He wanted to be honest with her, though he didn't want to hurt her. I care about you, but I don't want to label it yet. Yoon followed her eyebrows as she looked up at him. Confused by his statement, you care about me and you don't want to label it? What does this even mean? Jungkook bit his lips. I will be honest with you, Yoon. I'm not yet ready for serious commitment right now. So you mean it was just a casual thing with no meaning behind it? Jungkook felt his heart sink as he saw the hurt in her eyes. He never wanted to make her feel this way, but he also couldn't give her the commitment she deserved. No, it's not like that. I just need time. I don't want to jump into some serious relationship right now. Yoon girl, she don't know why she's feeling emotional right now. Maybe because of 2 reasons. She's trying to like him. Second, she's carrying his baby. And he never took anything seriously in this whole time. Yoon felt like screaming right now. It was her fault to do the things she shouldn't have. She should have stayed away from the boys and completed her school like she was doing. Sitting in the corner away from everyone else and not hooking up with someone who didn't feel anything for her. I understand. There were bug in her eyes as she turned around, immediately trying to hide it. I need to go to my class. And before he could utter another word, she was out of their sight. He entered the classroom, whistling and lost in his own world, but he froze when he heard a sniffing sound. He looked around for the sword but found the class empty, so he walked further inside. He noticed someone sitting in the back. Her face buried in her hands. He walked towards her, not knowing he should or not, but he did, and tapped her shoulder. And when the girl looked up, he almost panicked. Yun, what happened? Why are you crying? There's nothing, just having a bad day, she said, wiping her tears, and he kneeled down in front of her. Come on, Yun, you can tell me. What's bothering you? I'm here to listen. She shook her head. They are not that close to tell him anything about her. Really nothing, you don't have to worry about me. I know we are not that tough a class friend, but I'm a good listener and I promise I won't tell anyone. It's just a lot of things I messed up a big time and now I'm dealing with the consequence. We all make mistakes, but what's important is how we deal with them. I don't know anything, I can't tell anyone, I'm alone. He calmed down. Look at me. I promise I won't judge you in. You can tell me as much or as little as you are comfortable with. I don't know. It's okay. First, stand up from here. That's a lot of dust. Unless you enjoy playing in dust. He offered her a smile, trying to lighten up the mood as he made her stand on her feet. As she wiped the remaining tears from her cheek. Thank you. Don't thank me right now. I'm going to annoy you until you tell me what made you cry. He grinned and poked her cheeks and smiled a little while slapping his hand away. It's not something you can help with. It's just my own mess. If you need someone to talk with, you know you can contact me. You nodded her head, murmuring thank you as he made her sit beside him. Jungkook walked towards her house, something he should have done sooner. He was waiting, unsure of what he was waiting for. Her salary was beginning to worry him, and he was uncertain about how to explain things to her, given the misunderstanding from their last conversation. And he didn't blame her for it. He knew he was a tall too. He should have communicated more clearly from the beginning instead of waiting for the right time. It was true he was not ready for a relationship. Not now at least. He knew he liked her. That was true, but he had his doubt. Commitment is not as easy as it seems. When he can't take care of himself and he is a messed up in his head. When he don't have enough time for himself, how can he jump in a relationship? He stayed away from everyone, but he didn't know how the hell he ended up in this situation where he hurt the only girl who cared for him. He should have told him in clear words instead of making things complicated. As he approached her house, Jungkook, reflecting on the words he had said, realized that he allowed things to reach to this point due to his hesitation. But all the hesitation forgot as he stopped in his place when he saw Taehyung standing there leaning on his father's car. What is he doing here? His confusion deepened, but he froze in his place as he watched Yoon walk towards him and they exchanged warm smiles as he opened the car door for her. Are they together now? He couldn't help but bite down his lips harshly. The only thought wanted to make his stomach do. But if they are really together? No, it can't be. He never got a chance to express his true feeling. So he walked towards them, stood in front of Taehyung, who noticed his presence. Taehyung, what are you doing here? What's him doing with you? Are you two together? Yes, she's my girlfriend now. Jungkook, you had your chance, but you didn't take it, so I did. Jungkook felt like he's going to burst. He wanted to scream at Taehyung that Yoon can't be his girlfriend. She's supposed to be his. But he can't. He know it was his fault, not for making sure she knew that he wanted. Taehyung, you're really dating Yoon? It feels pretty real to me. He kissed Yoon's cheeks, and she didn't spare him a glance as they walked together, both smiling and acting like a Jungkook heart. Uncle, my bicycle hurts you. Do not cry later. He was snapped back to reality by skirts on a fast bicycle coming towards him. Jungkook barely had a time to jump aside and want the collision. Oh God, he realized that he was standing in the same spot for the entire time, lost in his imagination. The relief washed over him as he realized that the scenario he just created was a figment of his over-creative imagination. It was not real. He never walked to Taehyung. But one thing was real. He looked back at the same spot and saw Taehyung's car driving away from there. Where are they two going? Open the car door and sat inside. Taehyung looked at her and then started the car engine. Is everything okay? Yeah, I got to know many things about it and now I need to tell my friends about the whole thing. You know, I was recording the doctor conversation since my friend is too dumb to remember every single word and convey to my friend. Taehyung sighed and nodded. So your friend is so shy that she can't come to talk to the doctor about her pregnancy. Yeah, that's what I said. Come on, stop lying. I didn't want to make you uncomfortable, so I stayed quiet. I should do right now, but the story doesn't make any sense. You know that too. She bit her lips and hid her face in her hands, realizing she was just making nonsense excuses. I have slightest idea why are you here, but I was waiting for you to tell me by yourself. You're right. The visit was not for my friend, it was for me. Then he stopped the car at the side and turned towards him. Are you okay? He shook her head continuously, tears forming in her eyes as her face was hidden. I'm not okay, I'm not. I've been thinking about it. I have a lot in my mind and decided that I want to. You mean you want to have an abortion? It's the best option for me right now. I can't handle this situation. Taehyung eyes softened as he reached out, placing his hand over her hair, ruffling it softly. Do you know who is the father? He clenched her face, her sobs getting louder. Jungkook. Taehyung paused, his eyes widening as he processed her words. Did you talk to him about this? No, I have not told him about it. I don't know how to tell him. It's not an easy situation, but you should talk to him about it. He deserves to know. You shook her head as more herself. He doesn't want anything with me. He is not ready for any relationship. I was nothing to begin with. How can you say he will be ready to take this responsibility? You never know how he might react. This is a big deal. And he should be informed. At the end of the day, it's his child too. He should have to say in this matter. You can't make the decision for him. You look up at him, her eyes red from tears. I'm just scared, Taehyung. I don't know what to do. I can't bring this baby into the world under these circumstances. I'm young. I don't know how will my parents react. What if they kick me out? Do you know how dangerous it is for me? Doctor told me how difficult it can be for a young mother during labor. Taehyung patted her hair softly. This is a difficult time for you. Everything will be alright as the time passes. I'll support you no matter what decision you make. Just don't face all the things alone. You nodded and Taehyung sighed, turning on the engine again. Do you like my driving skills? I was waiting for you to praise me. You wiped her tears and snorted, amused that he is still bragging about his car. Do you even have a travel license? Well, it's my father's car, but still, he lightened up the mood and she wished everyone would be as supportive as he is. Entering the narrow street and making her way towards the only door in the lane, her heart was pounding in her chest. Last night, she had spent hours thinking about the situation and reflected on Taehyung's work, realizing that she couldn't keep Jungkook in the dark any longer. He had a right to know what was happening. She stood in front of his house and was about to knock when the door abruptly swung open, making her flinch. Jungkook froze in her place, his eyes red and an intense suppressed anger radiating from him. It seems like he had either been crying or was on the verge of crying it. He looked like he could explode any moment. And if it were not for his self-control, someone was. And if it not for his self-control, he might block someone else. He stood there a bit frozen, her gaze locked onto his. What are you doing here? Yoon gulped, her voice trembling as she replied, I think we need to talk. Jungkook stared at her for a moment before nodding and closes the door behind her, slamming it shut. Yoon flinched again. Our June family literally locked to slam their doors every now and then. A few minutes later, they found themselves in a nearby park with Jungkook lighting up a cigarette. Yoon stayed quiet, watching him. She stood there, her heart pounding. She could tell there was something was seriously bothering him. Is everything fine at home? When it ever be? Is it your dad again? He's just doing his usual stuff and making her life hell. He closed his eyes. They sat in silence for a while with Jungkook taking deep breaths from his cigarette. Yoon couldn't help but feel a growing pit of anxiety in her stomach. She knew she needed to talk to him, but also didn't want to overwhelm him further. Jungkook, I know this is not the best time and I don't want to add to your stress, but there's something I need to talk. Yeah, I forget. It's so important that you had to come here at this late. Jungkook finally turned his full attention to her. I don't know how to start and what will happen. It's something really big. I don't plan for this to happen, but it did, and I can't handle it all by myself. I know you said you didn't want anything serious or relationship. I respected that, but I just found out about it. But I think you deserve to know. If I didn't tell you, I might take wrong decision. I might take wrong decision. I'm told you, please. Can you just say what you have to say? My head is already about to explode. A knot formed in her stomach that was almost unbearable. Knowing she was not ready and she is afraid. Saying the truth out aloud will only suffocate her. So she clamped her trembling hands together. Finally looked at him. Jungkook, I'm pregnant.